a look at that for a swim start. Will McCloy alongside Chris McCormack. We've made the dash to the commentary box, which is nice and wonderfully air-conditioned, but there is hot and steamy conditions. Potter, obviously, with one of the world's great runs, and she had a tough day by her own standards yesterday. Always smiling is Jess Learmonth, who, it's just lovely how she doesn't take anything too seriously, and then she goes out there and she absolutely leaves it all out on the course. Susanna Bragmeyer had to qualify through the repechage. She was the fastest qualifier in the repechage too, so she won the repechage and she gets a spot. And we're going to get underway right now. Into the water, and someone missed it. Look for Learmonth in the middle in the green. She's a fantastic swimmer.
She definitely didn't miss that start. She got a great start, as did Beth Potter there on screen. Looks to be starting very, very well. But Jess Learmonth first off the blocks in the green.
Yeah, she is a very strong swimmer. Led her heat swim out by 3 seconds, which over the course of 200 metres and in a pack swim is no mean effort. And she's looking here, I suppose, as we welcome Vicky Holland into commentary as well, for a little bit of revenge, because she won 3 of the championship races last year, only to be pipped at the post by Georgia Taylor-Brown and denied the championship title. And now she has the opportunity to take a title. We've seen Jess Learmonth time and time again take these races by the scruff of the neck, put time into her opponents early, and from there she's really never headed. She knows how to go into the zone and stay there, and she's done the same thing as they make the right-hand turn back in towards the, it says LV up there, but I'm going to say VL.
Vincent Louis.
The Vincent Louis building. After his win here in Singapore, won the championship title a couple of years ago. That's the monument we've built to him. And Learmonth is going to be the first there.
I tell you what, Bragmeyer had a very, very poor start. She's come around off that first swim board, or the second swim board, to put herself up there. And Beth Potter tagged Georgia Taylor-Brown for that entire swim and set her up for in a very, very good position as she comes into transition.
A 2:34 from Jess Learmonth. She swam a 2:35 yesterday. The fastest swim yesterday was Sian Rainsley with a 2:31. She's right behind. Bragmeyer slips in third from Taylor-Brown. Now, it's about 150 to 180 metres in this transition, and there's several sets of steps as well, so we don't like to make things too easy. The Brits certainly doing the job early on as they put their gear in the tub. We've already seen Alex Yee fall foul of the Arena Games Triathlon officials.
Great transition by Beth Potter. She realises the importance of transition. She's chasing the World Championship today. Cooling device around the neck, a lot of ice in that. Women really, really trying to keep the body cool. They struggled yesterday in that heat.
Any time that lost to, well, it seems now Jessica Learmonth, will be paid for in stage 3. So if it finished the way it stood, Learmonth would bank a 4-second gap over Taylor-Brown. Of course, the gaps tend to get a little bit bigger as fatigue sets in stage 2. And with this kind of humidity, I bet you're very happy that you're not one of these Brits out there, Vicky.
I'm really quite happy in an air-conditioned commentary booth right now because it is stinking hot outside. Even today, a little bit cooler than it has been the last few days. Yesterday during the heats, blazing sunshine, really, really hot for all these girls. It is a bit cooler right now, but it is still so muggy out there, and it's going to be a war of attrition.
I don't know, I heard whispers about potentially a little niggle for Jess Learmonth. She's not showing any of it now, but when she did step down, and you missed it because you just arrived at the commentary box after your 400-yard dash down here, but she was limping a little bit, and that's what we're basing this off on the pontoon.
Yeah, a little bit of a hip niggle for Jess, but she's been cleared to race, and you know, when you get on the start line, it's amazing what adrenaline can do for you as a painkiller. You feel all this pain, you dive in, you forget it, and you're just interested in going hard and trying to win the race. And Jess is such an amazing competitor. But yeah, we're seeing Georgia even put the ice on her head right now as well. She was the one who actually asked for it yesterday. She put in a request, can we get some ice, please? It's really, really hot down there. But yeah, with
Poor
Beth, we are not ready for this.
Not at all, but off the bike goes Jess Learmonth. Big crowd down now here at Marina Bay Sand. We're, of course, capped on the crowd, but every spot that we could give has been taken. She did lose a lot of time in transition last time out in London, and that is not a clean transition either. You see how quickly that 8 seconds got swallowed up, and she needs to start well here.
That's a good transition.
Yes, it is.
That's how you do a transition, and she'll get this treadmill up to speed. She loves running on this curved treadmill.
Look at Georgia Taylor-Brown's heart rate down there, 190 beats a minute. Now 191, now nearly 20 beats a minute off Jess. And Jess is, look at her putting in the hard yards. Look at that face on Jess Learmonth at the top left of your screen, trying to hold off Beth Potter over the last 200 metres. And she's struggling. You can see the limp there.
Yeah,
That's not a normal gait, and she's put her hand down on her hip too, and she's hurting, and she's going to almost... Well, she thought about taking it off there.
That's hurt. Yeah,
she's hurting. Jess Learmont is seeing her lead evaporate, and she looks like she is done. She is out. That is huge in the context of this world title. She's trying to make it to the end. She can't. Wow, Beth Potter looks across and she sees a world title in her headlights. Oh, no.
We did know that Jess, unfortunately, has been struggling with a little bit of a hip injury, a little niggle that she sort of battled with on and off since she did a 70.3 race in March. And unfortunately, she's just still struggling with that as it appears today.
All right, Beth Potter is going to win that stage from Rainsley Bragmeyer, Taylor Brown and Annabelle Knoll. But the big news is Jess Learmont.
I'm absolutely devastated for you, Jess. Tell us what happened.
I've had a bad hip, so he just gave up on me literally, like with a few hundred metres to go, but I can't even put weight on it, so...
You didn't even have a few hundred metres to go.
Nah, oh well, I can't do any more, sadly, but thanks, guys.
After stage one, it was Beth Potter who was the quickest. Jan Rainsley really took it to her, though, ahead of Janet Bragmeyer. Annabelle Knoll, one of the championship contenders, in fourth, 11 seconds back alongside Georgia Taylor Brown. Unfortunately, Jess Learmont, she won't play a part. And now we start with a reverse triathlon. So if Jess Learmont had even made it through the run, she'd be greeted with another 1 kilometre run as we go run, bike, swim, and we're about to get underway. Here we go. So it's another kilometre. This is usually where Beth Potter really makes hay while the sun shines off back-to-back runs, Macca.
Yeah, she loves this format, this run start. She has a weaker swim, but I think getting into that open water swim in front will give her the advantage she needs. All the females, all the women have to swim past her. So I expect Beth to lay down some serious smack right now and get a gap, but she's not.
Well, let's see if Barbara de Koning can keep her pace up, with Rainsley tucked in second from Bragmeyer, then Potter, Daniels, and Taylor Brown's already lost 3.5 seconds just over the course of the first 100 metres. Beth Potter is sitting pretty here. She doesn't need to worry too much about what Barbara de Koning is doing, or indeed Janet Bragmeyer as she drops behind Bragmeyer. Maybe, well, is she struggling again? If you look at her gait, she doesn't look necessarily like the Beth Potter we know.
This isn't Beth at her best, but it is the case that maybe her best is still going to be good enough today, especially with the withdrawal of Jess Learmont. It was looking like Jess was actually feeling really good, and she said so in her interview. She said she was actually feeling like she was really ready to push hard today, and she was showing us exactly that with a lead of around 6 seconds already on that first run. But now we're down to Beth, and it seems that Beth isn't at her sparkling best, but it's enough.
Barbara de Koning and Janet Bragmeyer do not figure, I suppose, in the overall. Instead, it's Potter who is just sitting there and going, I need to measure my efforts.
Well, for someone who's really not enjoying the heat, that's the really most important thing, I think. She has to be able to measure herself through these 3 rounds as we see them run off the treadmills and onto the bike now for the second part of this second stage.
This is really foreign, isn't it, for triathletes to have to go in reverse order. So used to going swim, bike, run. I've done it 100,000 times in a row. And then Super League changes the order and tries to find the best athlete by doing things like this, reversing the order and making them think and making them use different energy systems in different orders. Bragmeyer pushes nearly 300 watts to take the lead up the cobblestone section, which is the only real rise on Crit City from Beth Potter.
I think if
solid rise from her, solid little climb.
If you're Beth at this point, I think you almost have to play this quite smart and maybe let Bragmeyer go, because Bragmeyer is not the contender to Beth for the overall title. So for Beth to be the world champion, she maybe has to just say, okay, Janet, you can go. I'll let you get a couple of seconds here, but I know that overall I'm still going to take the win. Looking at this, I think Bragmeyer was really trying to win this bike so she could get in the water ahead of Beth.
And that's been a good thing for Beth, because
But Beth has stayed ahead.
Yeah. But the transition's going to happen. If you're Beth Potter, you're looking down that list right now. You see Rainsley there. You see the 2 Germans that are chasing you now for that world title. You see where Georgia Taylor Brown is. And you realise with Bragmeyer there, setting a tempo in the swim, you're going to keep Georgia Taylor Brown at bay.
All right, they're off, the 2 of them. They're down the steps together, and got to pick up
She
your
needs
gear.
those feet.
Yes, she does. She knows that too.
We're seeing Bragmeyer go in, and she's got a good gap still on Beth Potter behind her.
Yeah, I don't think Potter's going to be able to swim up there. And there's Knoll, who has overtaken both Taylor Brown and Eva Daniels in that transition.
Something's happened to Georgia Taylor-Brown. She had a very tardy transition. She didn't seem to be moving as quickly as she has, and Beth Potter's missed those feet.
The calibre of swimmer that Bragmeyer is now, I don't think Beth will probably be able to get back to her. So this is looking like a stage win for Jeanette Bragmeyer.
Bragmeyer's put a little bit of time into Potter. She's probably doubled her advantage in the water as she's going to head around the last sort of very slight right-hand turn on the third buoy, as the weather seems to be holding off a little bit. And it is so nice to be able to swim here in the Marina Bay Reservoir. As I said, no one's ever swum in here before. They make an exception for World Triathlon and Arena Games Triathlon.
Huge swim. Great swim by Bragmeyer. She's tapped it. She's finished the swim. She's made up for a lot of the deficit she lost in stage one. So forget about Beth Potter, who's had a fantastic swim and tagged her at about 6 or 7 seconds. What Bragmeyer has done is eaten up a lot of that lost time. So she'll be looking at her stage 3 results in a much better position now to have a great overall day.
It is time to pay the piper for the women, and can you believe it, Potter and Bragmeyer will start off together. Then 20 seconds back to Rainsley, a further 3 seconds to Taylor Brown and Annabelle Knoll, from Daniels to Koning, Meister and DeVette way back. We are getting to the business end now, and Potter and Bragmeyer will start. Rainsley and Taylor Brown and Knoll at 20 to 23 really have to work together. Daniels on her own, de Koning, Meissner and Hannah DeVette 1 minute and 8 seconds in arrears. Now, the question is, who wins a world title? We are around 12 minutes away from crowning our very first Triathlon eSports World Championship winner, and it has worked out perfectly for Beth Potter because she can tuck in on the feet of Janet Bragmeyer, who is not figuring in the world title, and take herself away from Annabelle Knoll, and Georgia Taylor-Brown, of course, who were the two contenders who could do the job. And here we go. Potter, Bragmeyer, the Brit and the Hungarian into the water, and a long wait, 20 seconds if you don't mind, back to Sian Rainsley, who is ready to do her best to figure in, but there you go, Potter, just jump on the feet, drag herself away. Bragmeyer, such an accomplished swimmer. 20 seconds is gone. Rainsley into the water.
Definitely not over. It's very, very hot out there. And when you've got Georgia Taylor-Brown in pursuit with Sian Rainsley and Annabelle Knoll, anything can still happen.
If Potter's wheels do fall off, Bragmeyer could add to that a world title and we think, and we're just working it out with our statistics guru, Graham Atchison, Potter would need to finish 5th or lower than 5th in order for Bragmeyer to take the world title. So it's all in Potter's hands, but Bragmeyer will be looking to pick up a hefty paycheck and also some really, really good points with the race win here. Potter, who now jump onto the bike for the last time, for the last 4 kilometres between this woman here, the Scotswoman, Beth Potter, first person selected for Team Scotland for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. It's just only a couple of months away now.
Yeah, Bragmeyer's gone. She's put 3 seconds out of the transition, straight on Potter. I wonder if Beth's looking around and thinking, okay, Sian Rainsley, Georgia Taylor-Brown at 20 seconds back, 22 seconds back. I've just got to control my emotions, control my output, and I'm a world champion. Forget what Bragmeyer's doing.
Beth Potter, she has gotten better and better since she switched over from running. She's been to the Olympics as a runner already and decided in 2017, I'm going to give this triathlon thing a go. She went and moved in with Johnny Brownlee, if you don't mind, up in Leeds. Still trains with the Brownlee brothers. And she has just, well, in 2019, she was European champion. So you know how quickly she's gotten better. And I feel like the next 18 months towards this cycle up to Paris is Beth Potter's time if she can bring it all together. 1 kilometre and 1.4 seconds. So Bragmeyer over the last couple of 100 metres has lost a second. And Potter, she ran a 3:18 last time out as the rain falls now here in Singapore.
I'm keen to see this run by Bragmeyer. She's been all in for 4,000 metres on that bike. She's been rocking and rolling in a lot of pain. She's not renowned as a huge runner, but she's been running amazing in Arena Games racing. Great transition.
Good effort off the bike. Now it's all about getting the shoes on, and this is the queen of transition. Potter knows how to do it. Bang, bang, bang. When you look back at what Learmonth had, obviously she has a hip issue. That was superb.
Here's Bragmeyer.
Here comes Bragmeyer.
Wow.
For the race win. There's 900 metres left. It's Potter, the queen of the run, up against Janet Bragmeyer, who is having the Arena Games of her career. 17.5 kilometres an hour. Look at that. Nothing between them whatsoever.
That
This
is
is what we
fantastic.
wanted. She's
That's
running
the pass.
past Potter.
That is fantastic, and she was so committed on the bike. I was so eager to see how she'd handle that transition from bike to run, and she has just gone bang.
8th in Munich. Bragmeyer, 10th in London. Just squeaked into the final, and now she is about to hand a lesson to Beth Potter, Georgia Taylor-Brown and Sian Rangeley, who have dominated the pre-race chat over the course of the last 36 hours or so. And the podium getter from Munich and Annabelle Knoll. Bragmeyer has been not an also-ran, but she hasn't figured at the pointy end at all. And now she is about to, well, just like Bogram did, she's about to out-Potter Potter.
Yeah, and scoring maximum points at the championship final.
And also, if we're looking back to 3rd and 4th, Sian has halved the distance that Georgia managed to get on her nearly on the bike. So she's coming for Georgia. So that battle for 3rd is not over yet.
Wow.
No, it's not. And they're, of course, they're a good couple of 100 metres back because they're, of course, 40 seconds adrift. 100 metres to go, though, for Janet Bragmeyer, who is about to post a very unlikely win over the rest of these athletes. And as we see in Super League Triathlon, it's the conditions that do it over and over. And this time, rising to the top, it's Bragmeyer who does it. She is your Arena Games Triathlon Singapore Finals champion.
What a great race. Janet Bragmeyer.
And there is your world champion. She did it the hard way, Beth Potter. What a way to start her 2022.
What a race. You've left me speechless. You've brought the best race of your career to Singapore. How does that feel?
Surprise, surprise. Probably sometimes the worst day is your best day. Felt really weak during the week, and probably the rapid charge warm up me well. So thank you for everyone for cheering me. It was very good.
We didn't pick it, but we should have. Janet Bragmeyer, too strong in the end. 4 seconds from Beth Potter. Georgia Taylor-Brown hung on from Sian Rangeley to take 3rd, which hopefully will deliver her 3rd in the championship series as well, from Knoll and Meissner. What an incredible effort from Beth Potter, who has been a little sick coming into this one, but she dug deep enough to secure a World Championship title here in Singapore. A boil-over from Janet Bragmeyer rockets her into 2nd, a well-earned podium from her, and Georgia Taylor-Brown, who has been consistent without being brilliant, gets her way into 3rd position.
Just talk us through that. I mean, 2nd in the race here, but you are world champion, Beth, and that's got to mean a whole lot to you here.
Yeah, I mean, that was tough, just the last bit. I just was in a bit of a wall of pain, but I just kept going, and, you know, it's a shame that Jess pulled up and stuff, but I think it was...
I'm loving this. I'm loving this. We've got cakes for the world champion. That is what she needs right now. Just talk us through Jeanette's performance today. I mean, none of us expected that, and for her to stick with you on the treadmill, that was immense.
Yeah, she helped me a lot in the swim. I just said to her, let's not fight. So she led us out in the swim, and I just tried to stay with her at the end. I just tried to close it and maybe left it a bit too late, but I gave it everything today, so.
But smart racing for you, because you used her feet. She's a strong swimmer. You got on her feet and you saved yourself a little bit of energy there.
Yeah, and I think, considering how I felt yesterday, I felt horrific yesterday, so to come back today and have a much better performance, I'm very happy with that.
They had to dig deep, and no one dug deeper than Beth Potter, who wins convincingly in the end from Bragmeyer, who rockets into 2nd with her race win. Taylor-Brown picks up enough points to put her 3rd from Annabelle Knoll and Lena Meissner.